I'm also wearing a hat. That's not my sun hat because I'm not in a warm place. I'm in Sydney again at the moment. That beautiful boat behind me is the SS South Steyne. She is one of Sydney's more famous ferries, launched in 1938 and over the years carrying 92 million passengers and doing about 100,000 crossings. Wow, she was busy. She was built by Henry Robb in Leith, Scotland. Oh wow, Leith, Scotland, I've been there. Throughout the 1800s, Leith was a major shipbuilding centre, constructing and repairing vessels for trade, fishing and naval service. Oh wow. Her powerful engine was built by Harland and Wolff in Belfast, who was apparently the same firm that built the engines for the Titanic. Before entering service, the SS South Steyne steamed more than 22,000 kilometres from Scotland to Sydney. Behind all that grass and trees there, she's just berthed down in Berries Bay and has been there since 2016. I'm taking a walk around to Berries Bay, so I'm hoping to get a better view of her from over there. That gave me a fright. Look at this. Look at this in front of me. I'm that close to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I bought myself a coffee, quite hot, because I hope it stays warm enough to get to Berries Point, or else I'm going to have a sandwich. I don't know why, but they kind of remind me of New York. Not that I've been there. There we go. Access to the foreshore via steps. Okay, I'll give that a go. I think it's down here. During this time, please use the alternative route shown below. Oh geez. It's not the greatest of weather today, so I've come prepared. I'm not going to bother with this because I've got hot coffee to carry and a camera, and it's getting a bit too much. Right. The perfect view with the perfect seat, right with that sign, right smack bang in the middle. I have come prepared. Made myself an egg sandwich today with some ham, and the coffee is still warm enough. Nothing like a homemade ham and egg sandwich. Actually, you know what? I've walked over that bridge before, and I've just worked out that I've got time to do that again today, so I'm going to give that a go. I've got a few hours to kill. I've got a wet bum now from sitting on that seat. Ugh, it's a bit squishy. Now around the corner here, I saw a plaque. While Aboriginal people had used canoes in the waters of Port Jackson and the Parramatta River to fish and trade for thousands of years, it was not until 1807 that a waterman was appointed to carry colonists in a tight and clean boat across its waters. That first waterman was a former convict, of course, William Billy Blue, who arrived in Sydney in 1801. Blue befriended Governor Macquarie, who provided him with a cottage on the eastern side of Sydney Cove, now Bennelong Point. In 1817, Blue was further rewarded with a land grant of 80 acres. Oh, and what is known as Blue Point, Blues Point, which is basically where I am right now. Blues Point. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm quite sure I can get around there to the bridge. And this looks like it was the ferry depot back in 1928. There's lots happening down at the harbour today, although I'd imagine it's a typical day down by Sydney Harbour and the Sydney Bridge here. And now there's a train crossing over the bridge. I'm going to take the ferry across to, I think it was Miller's Point. It's about 10 minutes and then I'll walk across the bridge. It's Milson's Point I'm going to, and then I will walk over the bridge. It is a bit of a dreary day for filming, so hopefully the lighting isn't too bad and too grey. I think that one out there, waiting to come in, is probably the one that I need to take. Whoa, my umbrella feels like it's going to blow off of me now. There's just one stop, right, that gets off underneath the bridge? Second, thank you. How cool is that? You. I almost forgot to tap off. There's a few photos under the bridge here explaining the buildings that have been destroyed to make way for the bridge and other historical photos.
It's got everything I need. Yeah, the rooms, they're cheap. And if we don't want to, we don't ever, ever, ever have to leave.
There's the 1929 viewpoint from McMahon's Point, which I've just been. Now, how do I get up there? I think it's over there somewhere. I'm pretty sure up here are the steps that I'm looking for. That looks like some steps. Bridge stairs. I can come up there. That lady at the top of the stairs said I have to go across the other side. Ah, there we go, Cahill Walk. The Cahill Walk is a pedestrian walkway across the Harbour Bridge. It was named after a Joseph Cahill, who was the Premier of New South Wales at the time when the nearby Cahill Expressway was opened. In 1932, the Sydney Harbour Bridge finally linked the north and the south side of Sydney, replacing what had been one of the world's busiest ferry crossings. After about 9 years of construction, the Sydney Harbour Bridge is one of Australia's most recognisable landmarks. And what a view of another one of Sydney's and Australia's iconic landmarks. And when you stand still, you can feel the bridge moving. Look at that. When you get the chance to walk under it instead of drive under it or take a train under it, you get time to admire it. It's quite impressive. Before the bridge was built, the only way to cross the harbour was by ferry. The idea of a harbour crossing had been discussed since the 1800s as Sydney's population grew and the North Shore developed. The Great Depression delayed the project, of course, but provided thousands of jobs during a very difficult time. The bridge was designed as a massive steel arch bridge inspired by similar designs overseas. And I feel like I'm shouting because the traffic's so loud. Its famous curved shape earned it its nickname of the coat hanger. Just about whacked into those people. The two steel arches were joined from both sides of the river in 1930, which was a dramatic engineering achievement watched by thousands. The bridge contains about 53,000 tonnes of steel and about 6 million rivets. It rises about 134 metres above water and stretches 1,149 metres from one end to the other. And there's heaps of puddles here too. When it opened, it carried traffic, trains and pedestrians. The tram services were later removed in the 1950s, replaced by additional road lanes. Excuse me. The chief designer and the engineer of this bridge was a John Bradfield. Bradfield was born in Sandgate in 1872 and had studied engineering at the University of Sydney. He was later the chief engineer of Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Metropolitan Railway construction, and spent more than 2 decades developing the vision of a harbour bridge crossing. Although Bradfield designed the original concept and was the driving force behind the project, the detailed bridge design and construction methods were developed with the help of a British engineering firm, Dorman Long, which won the construction project. And one of the best views while walking across the bridge is the beautiful, iconic Sydney Harbour. No, what's that called? It's the beautiful, iconic Sydney Opera House. At the Harbour Bridge's 75th anniversary, this plaque was unveiled to honour the 16 workers who lost their lives during its construction. This plaque recognises the bridge as an international historic civil engineering landmark. This plaque, installed in 1932, records the engineers, architects and contractors behind the bridge's construction. Built in 1839, the Bond store below there is one of Sydney's oldest surviving warehouses, where imported goods were held under customs control until duties were paid. Right, and now that I've walked across this side of the bridge, it's time to turn around and go back. Also noticed over in the harbour there's like a small brick island. That tiny brick island behind me is a brick island. It's the Fort Denison, a 19th century defence fort built to protect Sydney from naval attack. Oh right, it also has a famous tradition. So it says here, famous tradition, a cannon was fired from Fort Denison at 1 p.m. each day for many years as a time signal for ships in the harbour. The tradition began in 1906 and continued until 1942 before being revived in later years for just special occasions. I now want to see if I can get down there because that looks quite interesting. Geez, it's a lot quieter down here. Bradfield's Plaza, named after the guy, you know that guy, John Bradfield, the chief designer and engineer of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And here's that beautiful iconic building again. And I see over here there's a lot more other historical photos of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Oh, how do I get down there? Oh, there's a path there. I'll get to that in a minute. I think I recognise that. Milson's Point Ferry Terminal. Right, now to get down to that point down there, and it looks a wee bit muddy here. This is the bow of the original HMAS Sydney. And it says here on this plaque that HMAS Sydney was one of the foundation vessels of the new RAN, the Royal Australian Navy. There is always something going on in this harbour. Well, that video was completely unplanned. I had no idea what I was going to film today. I had a couple of hours to kill. I'm heading out for dinner tonight to celebrate my birthday again. And rather than take the ferry back, I'm going to walk back to where I'm staying. It's only about a 25-minute walk, and with the Sydney Harbour Bridge in the background. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm to share my videos more, which helps the channel to grow. See you soon. See you in the next one. I can hear the screams. Not for me. What a backdrop. Look at that. The comic walk. When you start to notice them, you start looking out for more. They're quite cute, really. And there we are, back at the beginning. And I thought I'd get a bit closer to SS South Steyne, but I ended up walking over the Harbour Bridge instead.